if collagen exposed due to the damage of blood vessels, tissue factors released from the damaged tissues, they activate clotting factors in the blood. Clotting factors are in the form of inactive stage or inactive state. When collagen and tissue factors exposed, the clotting factors activate. So inactive clotting factors become active clotting factors. So they are a group of protein in the plasma. The clotting factors are not much important for us, but if we all of a sudden going to hear the factor 8 is a clotting factor in the blood, people have problem with the factor 8. If they don't have a factor 8, they have a problem of blood clotting. And this is called hemophilia. This condition is hemophilia. Hemophilia, the people are unable to clot the blood due to deficiency of factor 8. If you going to hear in the coming up unit 6, 7, 8 lessons, it's a genetic disorder, genetic disease. You might be surprised what is the role of clotting factors in blood clotting. Now here, I clearly mention clotting factors activate from collagen, clotting factor activate from tissue factors. Let's see what is the role of clotting factors in blood clotting. Right. Now, before we come to the role of clotting factors, there's another important thing we're going to learn. If collagen exposed, this collagen has binding site. Now, collagen exposed to the blood, that means this is the blood side. We know blood has different cells, leukocytes, erythrocytes, and platelets. Now, one of the most important cells for blood clotting is the platelets. So, platelets have binding site to the collagen now. That means here, this is the binding site for collagen, and the binding site fit with platelets. This happens only if collagen exposed during the damage. So collagen exposed, collagen has a binding site to platelet. Then platelet can bind to the collagen. So this is very important thing because we consider the platelets are most important cells for blood clotting. The platelet number is critical in blood clotting because certain diseases like dengue fever, the platelet decreased as a result. They are unable to clot the blood, they start bleeding because of lack of platelet. So platelets are very important in the clotting process. So previously we have learned the role of clotting factors. Clotting factors are important. Clotting factors should activate. Clotting factors are in the plasma as inactive proteins. When there's a damage, clotting factors activate. Now, second thing, if collagen exposed, platelet can bind and then platelet get activate. So shall we write it? Platelet activate. So clotting factors activate. Platelet activate and clotting factors activate. Now let's see what is the contribution of this activation of platelet and clotting factors. Okay, now you have learned how this activation happen. If platelet bind to the collagen, then platelet get activated. And if clotting factors come into contact with collagen or tissue factors, then the clotting factors will activate. When clotting factors activate, it just come like this, different activations. So finally, it activates this last protein. And then platelet also activate. Then activated platelet release chemicals, molecules. Example, thromboplastin. This is one example, a chemical which is released by activated platelets. Chemical which is released by activated platelet is thromboplastin. And clotting factors activate, I said, they have different numbers. For example, factor 7, factor 8, factor 10, factor 9. Like many factors are there to activate. So clotting factors is not one of the main interest in this lesson, but we know that clotting factors also activate and the thromboplastin is also activate. Platelet activate release thromboplastin. Now both activation is required because there is one of the most important proteins in the blood for clotting is called prothrombin. Prothrombin is inactive. So it has no harm, it has no effect, it has no influence to other molecules. It just stay, nothing will happen. But in the presence of these clotting factors, activated clotting factors, and molecules released from platelet, example thromboplastin, has effect now on prothrombin. So this activated chemical has effect on prothrombin. As a result, what is going to happen next level, this prothrombin get activated. Prothrombin get activated. After it activated, it become thrombin. So thrombin is active. thrombin is in its active form. And thrombin can act as an enzyme. So this conversion, prothrombin to thrombin, is done by activated clotting factors and platelet. This also required a calcium ion. Now you see the importance of platelet, importance of clotting factors. So these activations required to convert prothrombin into thrombin. Now thrombin is active. If thrombin is active, what is the effect of thrombin? What is the effect of thrombin then? This is thrombin. Then there is another protein in the blood which is again existing in inactive form, which is existing in inactive form, and this is called fibrinogen. Now fibrinogen convert into fibrin. And then a fibrin can join together, kind of a polymerization to make an insoluble molecule called fibrin. This is insoluble. This is soluble. So this conversion is done by the enzyme thrombin. Thrombin convert fibrinogen into fibrin. Now fibrinogen is in the blood. It's an inactive protein in the plasma. And prothrombin is also inactive protein in the plasma. So now fibrin forms. What is going to happen? This is the blood vessel, and this is the damage area. So this is the damage of the blood vessels. So these are the exposed collagens and other damaged tissues. Next, more and more platelets coming to this place and bind to the collagen. After that, this platelet become different shapes when they activate. So these star shapes is the platelets, and this one is the fibrinogen. So red color molecules are insoluble fibrinogen. So what you can see now, platelet and the fibrinogen, they make a net, fibrinogen, and this is called a mesh or net. So insoluble fibrin make a net around it together with the activated platelet. Now, any kind of a cells can attached, for example, white blood cells, red blood cells, they're going to attached. They're going to trapped here. And this final version is called clot. The clot can seal this area. The clot can completely seal this area, and blood is no longer moving out from the blood vessels now. Because blood cannot move, it make a solid mass inside the blood vessels and the wall of the blood vessel like this. So this is a completely solid mass, and blood cannot go out now. So this is the end of the clotting process. Now, just to summarize again the clotting process, we have learned blood is in enclosed system. If there's a damage, blood can leave out of the system. This is called bleeding. Bleeding should be prevented. This is called clot formation. Important to prevent blood loss and prevent entry of pathogen. So it can happen in vein, capillary, and artery, but most commonly capillaries and veins. And the process starts by exposing damaged tissues, including collagen. So collagen and endothelial cells are the most important players, can activate the clotting process. As long as smooth endothelial cell lining lost, then these molecules exposed, and first thing, it activates the group of protein in the blood called clotting factors. So clotting factors activate due to collagen and damage endothelial cell and tissue produce tissue factors. Then second one is the platelet. Platelet also bind to the collagen and it activate. So activated platelet release thromboplastin, and activation of clotting factors also produce final active form of clotting factor, and this activate prothrombin into thrombin. Thrombin is an enzyme. It converts insoluble fibrinogen in the blood to soluble soluble fibrinogen into insoluble fibrils. And fibrin molecules polymerized each other to make a net here called mesh. And activated platelet also change the shape flat to the star shape, and they can attach more and more to the collagen and to the fibrinogens to form a clot here together with the other cells. And this clot is seal this area, then blood is not leaking out, and pathogen cannot also come in because it make complete seal. So this is the blood clotting process.